Your Eminences, dear fathers, dear professors, dear participants, as it has been announced and is written to the agenda of this conference, my speech is about on the making of man, teachings of Saint Gregory of Nyssa, a very important and difficult topic. Saint Gregory was the third after Macrina, Vasilios, child of Vasilios and Emelia. Emelia is also the name of my daughter, who is a nun. And Saint Gregory of Nyssa tries to talk about this huge issue, huge topic, and according to him, in order not to be incomplete the teachings of my teacher, Saint Basil the Great, unfortunately, Saint Basil the Great
Saint Basil the Great
did not speak about the making of man. So, Saint Gregory of Nyssa, in order to analyze this issue, goes to the chapter 1 of Genesis, the line 26 and 27, and he focuses on the line 26 of Genesis, where, according to the holy text, we are going to let us make mankind in our image and our likeness. And according to Saint Gregory of Nyssa, what is human? And he answers, human is the creation of a reasonable God in the image and likeness of its creator. And the man was put in the heaven. It was a wonderful, divine garden with plants, with a lot of nice fragrances and full of light. So, being there, man, as the ultimate creation, has got the skills and the advantages similar to that of God. And this is why man was put last in heaven, not as the last creation, but after his birth, man is set the king of all the creation. He was the Lord of the world, Adam, man. And that comes from the divine skills, according to St. John the Chrysostom, in the image and likeness of God, which means that man is the imprint of his creator. So, creation, according to St. Gregory of Nyssa, the creation sees man as the image and the likeness of the triune God. Through the advantages and the skills, creation would be able to climb towards God. So the creation, seeing man, would be overjoyed, as we will do when we see wonderful image, a wonderful painting. We are full of joy and we are thinking of the painter. And we are talking about the spiritual aspect of man, the soul. The soul of man is the product of that divine breath, of the divine energy. And in Genesis, we know that the God created first of all the body and then the soul. However, our fathers interpret it and say that at the same time both the body and the soul were created. So it is not that first God created the body and then the soul. And according to St. Gregory of Palamas, one soul alone, neither soul alone nor the body alone is human, but their combination, both of them together. So the soul is combined with the whole body and not part of the soul with part of the body. And the soul is not contained by the body, but the soul contains the body, according to St. John of Damascus. So, man is not just a part of the soul and body, but a unity, a whole unity consisting of both body and soul. And that relationship between body and soul, according to Saint Epiphanius of Cyprus, is interpreting something very important for us. That in the likeness of God refers, in the image of God refers to the soul, but and also reflects to the body. And according to Saint Maximus the Confessor, it is the image of the Christ, of the embodied Christ. So the soul is a life-giving spirit that is giving life to the body as well. And this is why the death is the departing of the soul from the body. And St. Gregory of Nyssa will continue and say, having us been based on the line 26 of Genesis, in order to promote anthropologically the second part of his ontological attempt, which is based in the chapter 1, line 27 of the Genesis. And then God created man in his image and likeness. He created them, both male and female, man and woman. And he stops there. And then St. Gregory of Nyssa asked himself, the best part of the man is according to the image of God. Why have we added in the line 27 both men and women? Because in the image, that expresses the perfection, the unity. It is the end of the creation of man. Male and female cannot give perfection to man, but a disadvantage. And then, why is that? Because in the image of God declares the affinity of man to the God, while male and female denotes the similarity of man to the unreasonable and low way of life. Male and female, which express the bodily relationship between man and woman, reflects the relationship of unreasonable beasts, animals. So according to St. Gregory of Nyssa, after having read the Holy Bible, what do we learn from that line, male and female? Since man that has those godlike skills would be the perfect creation that would reflect the divine character, but also interpret the ontological society of God. But now, with its transformation of the initial man to male and female, that creature has been demoted to the class of animals, meaning that man has got a tendency towards sin. And St. Gregory of Nyssa will ask the question, what was that made God, if we can say so, to change its initial perfect and wonderful creature, the initial man, because it is about the transformation, the change of the initial man. And according to St. Gregory of Nyssa, God changed the initial creature, and he tries to give the answer himself that this refactoring, if you wish, this remake, so to say, of man, could be understood only after reflection and in order to think about God, which is a very torturous exercise, and we should be careful in order not to misinterpret. And this is why he declares, and to cover himself on behalf, and say that what I am going to say, let them not be used against me. Do not be mad at me. What I am trying to do is, if it is possible for my poor mind, I am trying to think and imagine and approach the truth. And I am just trying to exercise my mind. This is an intellectual exercise, so to say. So, just for... It is not something certain that I am saying, says St. Gregory of Nyssa. That remake, that transformation of the first human, of the initial human, into male and female before the fall, is related to the initial sin, the original sin. God knew that man will fall. He knew that very well. According to Saint Basil the Great, "Oh God, since you did it, why have you not built us in a way that we cannot sin?" And God, of course, could create man in such a way that man would not fall. But God created a lot of animals, we would have yet another animal. Or, according to St. John of Damascus, why didn't you not intervene, God, and do not let Adam and Eve to sin? Were you not there? My God, were you absent? Were you asleep? What have you done? Why haven't you intervened? And according to St. John of Damascus, for reasons of principle, man was convinced that devil was right, that he is going to become God, like God. And the second reason is, if God would have intervened, then man would have said no. And the third reason, according to St. John of Damascus, it is not, if something is done by force, it could not be virtuous. So the original sin, the future original sin, is related to the remake of the first man, of the first creature, which allows us to think, and I will conclude shortly, the initial creation of the man was without sex. The reproduction of man would be like that of angels. However, God then made a male and a female in order not to lose humankind, for humankind not to become extinct. If Adam and Eve would have stayed with their original sin, then the first consequence would be the fact that humankind would not be able to reproduce themselves. So the marriage is not the consequence of sin, but as the effort of God to stop sin. So, according to St. John of Damascus, God gave us marriage in order to keep reproducing. So both St. Gregory of Nyssa and St. John of Damascus have the same opinion about the remake of man, and the same goes when it comes to St. Gregory of Palamas, who says that because God knew that we will go to the original sin, this is why he gave us marriage. Thank you very much.